Good morning. I'm Mary with Pinky Ma's Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, and we also are called Pinky Ma's Sisters in the kitchen. And Linda is not with us today. Matter of fact, I'm by myself, except Carla is going to be monitoring and trying to make sure, you know, keep everything clean on your comments. And Linda, my sister, the other Pinky Ma, is at home this morning. And the reason she's home is because it is raining and the wind has been blowing. The news said that the wind would get up to 60 miles an hour. And the wind has already been blowing here because I just stepped out on the front porch. And the wind blowed and the rain blowed so hard, it blowed water way up on my porch, got my chairs and everything wet. So I'll be going out there after the video and sweeping off the water and wiping off my seats, my table seats, my table chairs. Anyway, it is going to be a good day because we're going to make the best of it. And what I'm making this morning is Molasses Crinkles. It's just a real simple little cookie, but I think that y'all will enjoy it. It's a simple recipe, quick. You don't have to, well, I say quick, you do have to chill it in the refrigerator. So that part is not quick, but mixing it together and cooking it is not hi everyone. I see all the waves everybody's giving me, and thank y'all so much for joining us. It just thrills our heart to see this familiar faces, familiar names, and then some new ones. We're getting a lot of new followers, and we appreciate that because when you like and follow us and share it on your page, that gives new people an opportunity to follow us also. So thank y'all for that. And I was just thinking, it may be raining, but you know what? We can have a good day anyway. And our thoughts, actually, that's what makes us have a good day, is what we have in our mind. So if you get up and you have good thoughts in your mind, and you're going to have a good day. So whatever your mind, whatever you dwell on, that's the kind of day you're going to have. So if you want to have a good day today, think good thoughts and think about all the things that you're blessed with. Now we'll get on with the cooking because this is not going to take long to do. All right, I've got a half a cup of butter, which is one stick. Some people, I don't know how it comes. I think that some of them, it comes in pounds. But anyway, this is a stick, and that is a half a cup. So you put the half a cup of butter. And I got where I buy my shortening, and this is butter shortening. You can use regular Crisco, but this is butter Crisco. And it has the measurements on the side. And so I've already cut it. I've already cut it to where 1/4 a cup of shortening. You Crisco, butter, just plain or whatever you want to use. You can't always find the butter flavored Crisco, but it comes in these little containers, and then I just put it in a baggie and put it in the refrigerator whenever we get through. I'm gonna get my rag. Now, that's butter and Crisco. I know it both looks like butter, but that is butter flavored Crisco. And I'm going to go ahead and cream that up a little bit. It's not much mixing. It's not hard to mix, so I'm using my hand mixer this morning. So I'm just going to cream that together. Your butter needs to be softened, and if you forget to lay it out for it to get soft, you can put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. If it comes right out of the refrigerator, 10 seconds. You don't want this butter to melt, but to get it soft, you can do that. So I'm just creaming that. And 1 egg. Put 1 egg in it. I should be cutting that. But I've already, them last eggs I got are fresh. Good, so I hadn't had a problem with any of them. So I just I'm noisy. I'm noisy in the kitchen. But when you using a mixer, you have to beat it. Now, the reason I haven't already got the molasses, the reason I haven't already measured this up, I was going to show you. This is a new jar, and you know when you have a hard time opening it, and then even Pampered Chef jar opener sometimes won't open these types of jars. You know, the one that's got the little grooves on the side. It's not actually a screw. If you'll take the spoon handle, y'all all may already know this, but there might be somebody out there that doesn't. Some of the younger people, if you put that spoon handle up in there and pop it. And if it sticks when you're using well, you know me, I do this all the time to jars. You ought to be able to hear it pop. I like it myself because all right, you didn't hear it pop, but it opened. I thought most of the time it'll pop and it opened without the pop. But anyway, that's how you open those kind of jars. Some jellies come like that. But anyway, this is 1/4 cup of molasses. And I'm just going to pour this 1/4 cup of molasses. Oh, it smells so good. When you're pouring it, you have to be careful because it'll run over if you don't start pouring it slow when it starts filling up. So, I don't want it to run over, so I'm being extra cautious. Okay, that is 1/4 cup. All right, I'm going to put my lid back on it. Set it aside. I'm going to put this in here. 1/4 cup of molasses. It really smells good. Okay. These little spatulas are so good to get in when you get in, you know, when you're working with the small container. I'm just going to put that there. I might need it again in a minute. And my brown sugar, here it is. It's a cup of light brown sugar. It's imperial sugar. This sack here, this bag is dark brown, but my canister has light brown in it. So, and whenever on the recipe, when it says a cup or any measurement, when it says packed, some of you might not know what this means. That means you pack that in there, whatever it is, sugar, shortening, whatever. You pack it by pressing it down. If you just scoop it up, you'll have a lot of little hollow spaces, and it does not equal the measurement that you need. So I packed this with my hand. I put about 1/2 cup in there, and I packed it down. Then I put the rest of it and packed it down. So it takes a whole cup of light brown imperial sugar. And then we're going to mix this up together. I know Linda misses being here. Let me get this. For Linda to not be here, you got to know that it was bad. The weather, she just does not like to drive in bad weather. And it's not just that. The route that we take to go to each other's houses, it's the back roads, and it's between trees. Many times after a storm, one of us has come to a dead stop on the road because there's be a tree all the way across the road. Sometimes we'll get there and somebody's already gotten there and cleared a space for you to go through. But who knows? You could be traveling down the road and one of them things fall on you. So we just take precaution, and that's why she's not here today. And she really did hate to miss. But you know, you gotta use your wisdom. You gotta be smart and take precautions. that's what it looks like now. Now I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to do my dry ingredients. And there, I don't just dump my flour and my seasonings all in with that, because especially when I'm using baking soda, because if it doesn't get dissolved real good with your incorporated with your flour, then you could very easily get a taste of baking soda or salt or something in a cookie, So you want to make sure, at least that's what I do. I always mix my dry ingredients together. I have preheated my oven to 375. This is 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and it takes 2 cups. So, I'll get 2 cups. And Carla is doing much better. She's still dealing with those kidney stones. She hasn't passed them yet, so she still needs your prayers. But she's not in as much pain as she was. So, all right, now I'm gonna check this recipe to make sure I get this right. That's what I thought. Two teaspoons of baking soda, not baking powders, baking soda. So, and thank you, Jennifer. Every time I use baking soda, I think of her, because she sent us some baking soda. There's 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I want to make sure, ginger, ground ginger, 1 teaspoon. I know I cooked a recipe similar to this, cookies, a long time ago, and Sister Boatman, she asked for the recipe because she liked it so well. Now, I am using a 1/2 teaspoon. Let me see. I printed, yeah. Your members, this is the way it looks. If you want a printed recipe of all of our things that we do on the video, this is why you can print them out if you are a member on our website. And so a lot of people, we give the measurements, but if you want a printed copy so you can look at it, you can join our website, join it doesn't cost anything. You do not have to join to watch our videos, and we give you the measurements. But sometimes you'd rather have a written copy in your hand. So a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. And that butter was unsalted, so I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use a whisk to whisk that up all together, get it all incorporated good before I put it in with my butter and sugar. Get them out of the way. Just whisk it, stir it, however you want to do to mix it. Whatever you want, however you want to do it to get it incorporated good. Okay? Now I'm going to put it in here. Put it in with just put it all in there. And I am going to mix it with the mixer. I didn't put that on the recipe, use a mixer. You can use a spatula or spoon or whatever to mix this, but it's just because I do have problems using my hands I'm gonna go ahead and on low speed mix this together. You have to use low speed because if you don't, that flour will just go everywhere. Just gonna get it incorporated good. Like I said, this is such an easy recipe. And it smells so good. It smells so good. All right. All right. Put this in the sink. And I am going to get a spatula. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to get my bowl scraper. That's what I'm going to use. What did I do with it? I get my bowl scraper. See how the mixer doesn't get all that flour around the edges? You can use a spatula to do it, or you can use this bowl scraper. And I'm just going to use this bowl scraper. This bowl scraper will get to the bottom real good in case that it doesn't get all mixed up. And you're going to think that it's too dry. Don't worry about it. It's not. This recipe makes 3 dozen. They're kind of not big cookies, but if you're making, and 3 dozen's not that many. This recipe, where I got this recipe is, I got it out of a recipe book that was from 1950. Now, and what is so strange, you know what, I never did look and verify that for sure. Let me see. I noticed on the jar the other day, no, it's not the same. It's not the same recipe. I thought it was the same one, but it's not. And I said, well, but it came out in 1950s. All right, I just get it all off my scraper. And then I cover this with saran wrap, put it in the refrigerator, and let it chill for about an hour. I've already got a batch made up. So I'm going to put some saran wrap around this. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And I'm going to get the one that's chilled out. And we'll cook it. Takes very little time to cook it. And I've already got my oven hot, preheated. I have 2 kinds of saran wrap. I have the kind that seals, and I picked up the wrong kind. Plastic wrap can really be challenging. And I picked up the wrong kind. But that's okay. It still will stick, but it's just not as good as that kind that's stickable. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And get this one. This is what I mixed up this morning. See? And now I'm going to put this away. It makes a difference. Not having someone here helping you, it makes a big difference when you're trying to talk. And I'm going to throw my trash away. Okay. You bake these on an ungreased cookie sheet, but I'm putting the pastry mat down. Not the. It's a cookie mat. Okay, I'm using scoop. This medium-sized scoop, and now when you make this, before you put it in the refrigerator, it's real soft. But you can see now it's kind of a little bit hard. I'm going to wash my hands one more time because I may have to roll these with my hands. So. Sometimes I roll them with my hands. Sometimes I use a cookie scoop. About 1 1/4 inch balls. Just roll them around like this. And I'm going to do two things this morning. I've never used the sanding sugar before. I'm going to do some with the sanding sugar and some with the regular sugar. And I'm going to see which one works best. So I'll try the sanding sugar best. You just roll your ball in the sugar. The sanding sugar, it just sparkles. I think that's the only difference it is. Put it down and then I just kind of mash it just a little bit. Don't mash it flat. But that's how I do it. This scoop. Round it around. These cookies kind of crack open. That's why it's called crinkles. And you put them about 2 inches apart because they do spread out. Just like I said, just press them a little bit. I think I'm gonna do my few before I put the sugar in there. I'll just put them in my bowl. So that way, because once I put my hand on that sugar, it's harder to roll. So I'm just going to do a few. Show y'all how it works. It doesn't take long to cook them. You just cook them 7 or 8 minutes. Linda and I yesterday had the best time at that general store. It just kind of like going down memory lane, you know. It just was so nice to go back and look at some of the things that we was familiar with, and some of the stuff I didn't remember. Like that vise, I knew the name of it, but I just couldn't remember. But thank you for helping me out there. And I want to be sure set my timer so I don't let it run over time. We're still doing that 52 weeks of giving. We pray about it, you know. We don't want, everybody's in need of something, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to be led to what the Lord wants us to do. So that's why that we haven't hadn't give away. Now I do things for people all the time, but I don't even consider that part of giving, because this is not what I'm gonna always be myself. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. Wash my hand again. Had sugar on them. All right. I only put 6 on this tray. Probably could have got more, but oh, I see how Ed didn't get sugar on it. That's okay. Okay, let me do the timer. Oh, timer. 8 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna set the timer for 8 minutes and check them. It's about 8 to 11 minutes. So you just don't. That's a piece of hard brown sugar. I gotta get me. I did get me some of those brown sugar keepers, but you have to soak them in water, warm water, before you put them in there. And I haven't done that yet, so I hadn't got one in there. I'm gonna go ahead and make my balls while those are in the oven, so I'll have them ready to go whenever those come out. So right now it's quiet. Everything is so quiet. It's not, matter of fact, it's not even raining right this minute. This morning, it was raining. And you know, y'all all know I go around talking to myself all the time. And I was just saying to myself, I just love to hear it rain. You know, if it's not storming and it's not hindering me, you know, from doing something we hadn't had, and we need, especially when we need the rain. I just love to hear it. And I got on Facebook and seen where Linda had made a comment, had entered how much she loved the rain, and it just reminded me. some of y'all may not know this, but Linda and I, we think so much alike and say some of the same things almost spontaneously. And Linda does most of the posting on her when she's posting something on Facebook. And I can be thinking the same thing that she posts, but I just don't post. So there's no point in both of us posting the same thing. So when she posted, she's posting for both of us because we think so much alike. It's amazing how I don't know. You hear people say twins, think alike and all that. We're not twins. There's 17 months apart between us. And we're not twins, but we do start to say the same thing lots of times. Because we're just that close. We know almost what each other's thinking before they ever say it. We've done that I don't know how many times. Start to say something and the other one starts saying it at the same time. I love my sister. And she loves me too. There's no doubt. I know some of you texted and talked to us before about how they, don't have anybody to talk to and they wish they had a sister. And if you don't have a sister, find someone. Find someone that you feel comfortable in talking to, or being that confident, or the go-to person when you have a problem or something. I understand that there's not everybody out there that's going to want to listen to what's on your mind and what your problems are. But you know what? I will tell you. Now, I'm not preaching. I'm not preaching, but God always will listen. He will always listen. And truthfully, He's your best friend because He knows every situation, the whole situation. And He's always available. He's always available anytime. I was thinking about this morning. I used to work at a Mazda dealership in Angleton. I was a title clerk. And lots of times I had to make a trip to Houston and take a contract or go get a title or something. I was always going into Houston. So that gave me almost an hour there and back driving time. And I'd pray. I talk to the Lord. That's what I do. I talk to the Lord about whatever I was dealing with at this time, or whatever my needs was, or whatever. And I would get some of the biggest blessings. I mean, just driving the car. The Lord, He's everywhere, all the time. So just driving down the road, He's kept His hand on me many a time. Matter of fact, yesterday when we were going to that Jonesville General Store on 59, there was a bad accident on the other side of the road. I think it was a log truck, and it was just it was just all to pieces. And there was fire trucks, and we didn't get there when it first happened. They were cleaning it up, but it just reminds me of so many times that the Lord has kept His hand on us and us on the road. So the Lord travels with you. He can be there with you anytime, day or night. And that's what's so good about knowing the Lord, is that He's no respect of person. It don't make any difference what your situation is. If it's in the middle of the night, or you can always call on Him. All right, so I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like I'm going to get, I'm not getting 3 dozen out of this, but my cookie cutter may be a little bit bigger. But anyway, I'll get those in the oven next. Well, I'll go ahead and put them on the pan. I have another pan here, so I'll go ahead and this one, That one I did in the sanding sugar. I'm going to do this one in the imperial granulated sugar. I'm going to do those in this one. I should have made that circle first. When you do it on the cookie sheet, the cookie scoop, it doesn't necessarily make a complete round ball. So that's why even though I use a cookie scoop, I still roll it in my hand. And another thing, rolling it in your hand kind of packs it a little bit better. So we're going to see which one that I like the best, and y'all can be your own judge. You might rather have the sanding sugar. But I'm gonna do it both ways. Now, it is so quiet here this morning. My goodness. Oh, you know what? My little Linda, she gave me a, what do you call it? A Syria radio. So, because I like to listen to gospel music all the time, and I'm not that savvy on computers and how to get to the music I want and everything. I'm learning, but it's just so convenient. Used to you use cassettes and CDs and all that. Well, this Syria thing is so nice. There's my clock, my timer going off. Let me check my cookies. Okay, wash my hands again. Okay. Ooh, they look pretty. I'm not sure if they're done, but we're going to see. No, I'm gonna cook them about 2 more minutes, because it said 11, and I'm gonna cook them about 2 more minutes. They not quite. You don't want to overcook them. They actually finish cooking once you take them. Cookies does after you take them out of the oven. But those was just a little bit too thin, raw looking. So now I'm gonna put this down here. Anyway, little Linda got me one of those little Syrias. I'm gonna show you how it works. It's a little round box like this. And when I got it, they told me all you have to say is Alexa, and tell them what you want. That's all, to play music or whatever. Well, when I first got it, I said it over and over and over and over again, and it wouldn't do anything. So I told Linda, I said, Linda, that thing doesn't work. It won't obey me. It won't do what I asked them to do. She said, say it. I don't know whether I'm saying it right to y'all or not, but I said, Alexa, play gospel music. And it wouldn't do nothing. Linda just died laughing. She said, Mama, you're not saying it right. And I said, well, how do you say it? And she told me, I said, I'll never be able to do that. I'll mess up, and I'll never be able to listen to my music. So she went in there and she changed it. She changed the name that I use whenever I want my music. And so the word I chose was echo. Echo, play gospel music. That's all I have to do. And listen,
Here's
it'll come.
A station you might like. Modern Gospel on Amazon Music.
See? I'm going to let you. It'll start playing gospel music for me. I don't even have to touch it. Isn't that cool? I just love it. Anyway, plays gospel music. Now, all you have to do, you can do that for the weather. Linda told me you can ask it almost anything and it'll tell you. Now I'm going to tell it to stop. Stop, Echo. That's enough. Thank you. I always tell it thank you. I don't know who is doing that. But anyway, all you do is call it by name. So if you've got one and you can't say it like me, get somebody to rename it for you. I have enjoyed that so much. Okay, all right, let me check this again. I'll show them to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven and show you those. Okay. I'm actually going to put them on the cooling rack instead of that. This is them. See? Don't they look pretty? I think I'm gonna like that sanding sugar because it's kind of a sparkle. But that's why they're called crinkles. It's because they spread apart like that. Just cool them for 5 or 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna remove them and put them on a wire baking rack and let it finish cooling. Now, let me tell you, to keep these cookies soft, you can put them in an airtight container, and you can put a slice of orange or a slice of apple in there, and the cookies will stay soft. Now remember, this came out of a 1950 cookbook. I've never tried this, but if you do use fruit, you have to change that pretty often. You don't want to leave that in there, but it keeps your cookies moist. If you want your cookies to stay crisp, you don't seal them up in an airtight container, because that's what keeps them soft, is being in an airtight container. So if you want them crispy, don't put your fruit in there, and don't seal it with the airtight. So let's see here. Let's see if yeah, I could put them on a rack now. Let me move my cookies. Move this. I'm just going to put them on this. It doesn't take them long to cool at all. But I think they're pretty too. I like that sparkle. I knew Linda, my sister, she's used this sugar lots of times on cookies, but I really don't usually do it. But it makes a pretty cookie. All right, there's another one. I'm going to let them cool a little bit more before I put them in my mouth. And this cookie sheet has got to cool before I put those other cookies on here. You don't want to use this hot. It won't take it long to cool. So I'm going to put it over here off the counter. So, and then I'll put the rest of them on there. I want to show you, compare the ones with the different sugar on it. So that's why I wait. Oh, I forgot to do my timer. Okay, so I'll do my timer and try not to overbake them. You really have to be careful, because especially these cookies, they'll get hard. Sometimes I like a crispy cookie, and sometimes I don't. It depends on the cookie. But these, I do like these crispy. I really do. So I'm anxious to get into one, but I'm gonna wait a few minutes. But I have got my Christmas stuff all in containers. Chuck's got everything out of the yard in containers, except for the one big Christmas tree. He's still got those lights to take down. But I've got it all in containers, and now I have to get my grandson, Braden, and Chuck to take it to the storage. So I'm getting there. I hope to have it all stored and my Valentine's stuff out by the weekend. So I don't even try to go on that storage to get the Valentine things, decorations, until I get my Christmas stuff put away. So I'm really wanting to taste one of them cookies. Let me turn that light on. So when I first opened the oven door, in 8 minutes, these was plump. They was kind of big and plump. And then the longer they stay in there, the more they flatten out. That's what I'm saying. I may not cook those 10 minutes. I cook these 10 minutes. I may not cook these 10 minutes. I may just cook them 8 minutes and see how see if they're done. They're done, but you don't want a raw cookie. But if you want a soft cookie, and I'll let y'all know, these right here, these are still soft, but they're still hot. When they get completely cool, it's going to tell you, really determine how crisp they are. But these really turned out pretty good. Some of them's a little different size. The rain is picking up, so we're still going to have some pretty good rain, and I hope the wind is over, but it may not be. I went out, stepped out on the porch this morning, and it wasn't raining at that moment, but that's when I noticed the water on the porch and in my chairs. And there was a squirrel run across the front yard. It was so pretty. I thought it was so, I love to see little squirrels like that. We used to have a lot of them, and we still do. But we got Einstein, Chuck's dog. But you know, I don't think Einstein chases those squirrels, but the cats does. The cats does. And used to, they jump. You could just sit on the porch and see them jumping from tree to tree. But I think it's the cats that's bothering them right now. I think because we had so many acorns. I said when that squirrel run across the yard, I said, fill yourself up. There's still acorns on my front yard, and we raked, and there's still acorns out there. But that rain, doesn't it? It's a smoothing, calm, relaxing feeling to hear it rain. It makes you want to take a nap and just listen to it. I think a lot of people has these machines and things that has the water flowing and all, because it's a peaceful, calming feeling to help them to go to sleep. So I guess it does have something to do with it. And just to think that God did that. You know, God is the one that opens up the skies and lets that rain come as we need it. You know, there's a balance in everything. And the Lord knows what that is. Oh, I don't have my sister or somebody here talking to me. I'm all by myself, so I have not much of a conversationist whenever I'm talking. I know I'm talking to y'all, but it's a difference than somebody talking back to me. I would just, sometimes I go over the videos and watch them. I mean, I did at 1 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep. I got my phone out and I started watching some of our videos. And it's so nice whenever we're all together. It's just so, it's just a wonderful time that we have together. We love being together. That's the whole point. When Linda and I started this videos 1.5 years ago, I smell them. We're not done. But I just took a peek of the cookies that I use the regular sugar in, and I can tell you right now, this is my choice. But I'll let y'all see. My whole purpose was for us to get to be together more. Matter of fact, I was talking to Carla this morning, and we were both talking about how blessed we've been that we've got to be with each other for what now? Well, we all got to be together for a year, and then before that, Linda and myself was together by ourselves for a year. So it has been a wonderful 2 years. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have this to look forward to, and all the comments. I get so many comments. Oh, I wanted to show y'all something. I do forget. Y'all all know that, and I apologize for not having a good memory. I just can't. But Kathleen, I told y'all that Kathleen Tyree gave me a cake turnable. Isn't this nice? It's Wilton. Isn't that nice? I never had one. I got my sister one years ago. But Linda's hard to buy for. And that's one time I found something she didn't have. But anyway, isn't this nice? It's got that non-grip slip ring around it. And there's a thing right here that you push in, and it turns. It turns, and you pull it out, and it stays. It doesn't turn. So if I'm doing something that I don't want this turntable to turn, there's a little lever in there. Isn't that nice? I've never had anything so nice. I love it. Thank you, Catherine. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get to show it to y'all. And it's got the legs on it. They close up like that. They close up for you to store it, or either that makes it 2 different levels of you working with the cake. This would be a lower level, and then you let the legs out, and it's a taller level. So thank you, Catherine. that when I bake a cake again, I will be using that. Now, I'm not going to be baking a cake for a while. We had so many cakes for Christmas. Oh my goodness. For the last 2 weeks, I have been, well, it's not really 2 weeks. Ever since we had our party, I've been taking cake to people. But I had put one of them in the freezer and thinking, well, maybe, you know, that I'll get it out later. Well, I got it out Sunday and sliced it up and took it to people because I needed the space in my freezer. So, all right, that is 8 minutes. Where's my... Okay, let me move this. Well, I want y'all to see that, so let me move this. These are the cookies with the imperial sugar, just the regular granulated sugar. And you see the difference? They're going to be good cookies, but they don't have that sparkle. I better let them cool just a minute. But they're done. These are done at 8 minutes. I can tell by looking at them. See, they're still a little soft, but that's what they're supposed to be. You don't want to cook them until they're hard because you won't be able to eat it. It'll be so hard. So I cooked these 8 minutes. Well, actually, I take that back. I did the timer on 8, but remember, it took me about a minute probably before I went over there. So I would say 9 minutes. But these are the difference using that sand and sugar. And I got the sand and sugar at Walmart. Let me show you what it is. It's where you find the sprinkles. It's just called sand and sugar. And that's what makes these sparkle. It's just makes them pretty. Probably not a bit of difference in the taste. But these are granulated sugar. All right, I'm fixing to eat one of these. It's cooled off now. That is so good. Just right. Just right. Perfect. That's a good cookie. That is a very good cookie. I'll let these cool, and then I'm going to bake the rest of them. I'm not going to bake them on air because I've showed you two ways that you can do with the sugar. And so I hope y'all have a blessed day. If you're in the rain, I know that they said there's going to be really bad weather all the way east. So we'll just be praying for y'all's safety and that it doesn't get too bad. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us. And I'm not sure if we'll be on live again before Tuesday. But if not, then we'll see you Tuesday. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Don't forget to share, like, and follow us. And y'all have a blessed day and a weekend. Don't forget to count your blessings either. Love y'all. Bye-bye.